My goodness, where has the time gone? When you last heard from us, we were knee-deep in a harrowing fundraising campaign to bring Fogtown to a screen near you in the not terribly distant future. And in the time since then, we're so pleased to say that through our wonderful growing community, you carried us over the finish line and helped us get funded.
Yes!
We are so extraordinarily grateful to all who contributed or shouted from the rooftops about us. But we're especially humbled to have had the support of so many other talented game developers who Faceblogged or retweeted us out to their communities.
Right, and in return, we are... What? Giving them a bunch of money or something?
No, actually, a simple thank you should suffice.
Good gravy, lad! All these people spread the word about Fogtown?
Yes, well, at least most of them. Everyone on there at least promised to, so here's hoping, fingers crossed.
Shouldn't we make use of our detective skills and separate those who actually helped from those who merely claimed they would?
Oh, Sherblock, heavens, no! That would be rude. Besides, if we thank people who actually didn't do anything, they might feel obligated to help us down the line.
Oh, cheeky! But that still won't erase your sins.
Anyways, in no particular order, but through sheer extraordinary random chance, happen to be alphabetical, we would like to thank 2 for 2, who made last year's funky post-apocalyptic adventure Capia. Augustin Cordis, creator of the famously frightful Scratches, an upcoming game Asylum. AMANITA Design, who are currently making their own cardboard aesthetic adventure game called Phonopolis.
Now that's highly suspect.
Andrew Goulding of Blockson, who made the sci-fi thriller Warp Frontier. Big Finish Games, the creators of the beloved Tex Murphy series, currently making a much-anticipated remaster of the Pandora Directive. Bit Biters, who are making the sci-fi adventure Disconnections. Bitrich.info, known for the rail tycoon management game Railroute. The Brotherhood, currently at work on their anticipated sequel, Stasis Bone Totem.
Do we even know anything about this so-called Brotherhood? We really ought to vet these folks before we go endorsing their work. What if they're a bunch of weirdos? Like the people who eat the brown part on the banana?
Oh, hush. A BTF for the handcrafted 1960s German vacation thriller Truberbrook. Buenos Aires Quarantine Studio, making the noir-soaked Nosebound. Cave Monsters, who created the utterly charming Lord Winklebottom Investigates. CBE Software, the creators of Someday You'll Return. Charles CECIL of Revolution Software, one of the masterminds behind the Broken Sword series and Beneath a Steel Sky. Cloak and Dagger Games, who made the thoroughly spooky The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. COCKROACH Inc., who made the surreal classic episodic game series The Dream Machine.
Oh, Blockson, look what you've done! Far too trusting, and now we've got an entire encyclopedia to thank because you don't want to hurt any feelings. Well, I'll get to the bottom of who held up their end of the bargain, while you continue to...
This is definitely a real company that's making a very...
whatever they say is.
CONVICT Games, currently making Burn. Cowcat Games, who recently finished the fisticuff-filled Brock the Investigator. Dave Seaman of Teen Disaster, who created the Captain Disaster series of games and books. Dynast Games, developers of Rogue Bellhop comedy Not Another Weekend. EQ Studios, creators of the Paynes Creek Killings, now working on Scene Investigators. Ezra Artman of Bad Goat Studios, the creator of Henry Moss and the Wormhole Conspiracy. Francisco Gonzalez and Grundislav Games, creators of A Golden Wake, Lamplight City, and the upcoming Rosewater. Frostwood Interactive, hard at work on Unworlding. Game Chuck, the developers of the beautiful and long-in-the-making Trip the Ark Fantastic. Gamius, who created the soothing and thoroughly unconventional gem, Lake, set right in the Pacific Northwest, the home of the Fogtown team. Glitch Games, the makers of the amnesiac mystery game, Incoherence. Golosogames, the team behind the absolutely adorable Inspector Waffles. Oh, don't you want to just give him some sketches? Homo Naren Studio, who are making the Victorian-era detective game Casebook 1899. Imaginary Lab, the folks behind Willie Morgan and the Curse of Bone Town. Honzo Vavra, makers of Long in the Tooth and Off the Clock. Igor Hardy, designer of the innovative upcoming VR game Mixture. Indiesruption, makers of the haunting Vlad Circus, coming soon. Inklingwood Studios, who are creating the most promisingly fun, spooky and gloriously animated Foolish Mortals. INSANTO Studios, for a trail of ooze starring a justice-seeking bovine hero. Jean-Baptiste Desclefait. I'm so sorry if I botched that, Jean. The creator of the witty and silly Lancelot's Hangover. Jesse Mackinnon, who's currently crafting the reality-altering After Dream. Nut Mueller, the creator of the mind-bending puzzle series Rem. Crams Design, who've been working on the murder mystery game The Big Hollow. Why haven't Sherblock and I been contacted about this crime? No matter. Lifeless Worlds, the team creating the forthcoming space mystery Lifeless Moon. Lydia Kovalek of LK Mad Games, who recently released the puzzle game Panmorphia Awakened. Martin Hanses, the man behind Clam Man 2, Headliner, an upcoming aquatic stand-up comedy RPG. Oh, it's very different. Midboss, from the cyberpunk mystery Read Only Memories, Neurodiver. Mean Tar, of Napixo Games, who made the historical mystery adventure Detective D, The Silk Rose Murders. Nordbrim Interactive, working on the gothic horror card game The Foretold Westmark Legacy. OCTAVI Navarro Arts and Games, for their horror experience Uninvited, where your only light source is a jar of fireflies. Oh, how cozy yet frightening. Orbis Tertius Games, who made the surreal conspiracy adventure Personal Rocket. Outsider Games, for the recently released Jennifer Wilde, Unlikely Revolutionaries, the only game where you can banter with Oscar Wilde's ghost. Peanut Button, for The Secret of Retropolis, where VR meets film noir with a bunch of automatons thrown in. The Phantom Fellows, for their game also called The Phantom Fellows, where phantoms may sometimes become your fellows. Pirata Studio, the team behind the warm and kind-hearted take on sci-fi adventuring with Moontropolis. Polygon Treehouse, the team who made the charming monster folklore game Roki. Radio Silence Studios, who are hard at work making the old-school globe-trotting point-and-click, The Adventures of Brian Scott. Rem Mikulski of Harvester Games, creator of The Cat Lady and the recently released trippy and terrifying Burnhouse Lane. Sasha Altschuler, who's done quite a lot of art for video games and is currently working on the Tideshell Keeper. Scarecrow Studio, creating the lushly illustrated comedy caper 3 Minutes to Midnight. Seb Burnett, who created The Adventures of Bertram Fiddle, a Sherlock Holmesy satire game series set in a uniquely off-kilter take on Victorian London. Seb, please don't sue us. Sector House, creating the highly moody and striking sci-fi game Grand. Side Group Games and founder Reese Manick, creator of the interactive narratives Waiting for the Loop and Throw Me in the River, and who is currently helping on, well, imagine that, the Fogtown video game. Sinking Sheep, the folks responsible for the strange, childlike wonder coursing through Enipnion. Southfork, the creators of Orion's End, the life in space trading simulator. Spooky Doorway, the team behind the uproarious paranormal hijinks of The Dark Side Detective and its sequel. Stave Studios, who made Over the Alps, a uniquely postcard-themed espionage thriller. Stellix Software, who made the commuter-themed character drama Monorail Stories. Steve Intz, one of the writers behind the highly celebrated Broken Sword games. Tag of Joy, the people at the helm of the rollicking adventure Crown and Ponds, Kingdom of Deceit. Two guys from Andromeda, who made the original Space Quest series for Sierra and recently finished the long-anticipated Space Venture. TRANSOLAR Games' Summer Days, Tilly's Tale, the newest game in development from Laurie and Corey Cole of the Quest for Glory series. Tim and Linda Coles, the pair behind the delightful FMV Mysteries, The Shape-Shifting Detective, Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe, and the upcoming Murderous Muses. Video Juegos Furman, the studio behind CLOAK, The Legend of Gustavo Bueno. And Warm Kitten, who just put out Justin Whack and the Big Time Hack, available for Switch, PC, and Mac. My goodness, my mind's about to crack.
Blockson, put that dictionary down and come with me. I have found the culprits.
One moment, I just need to rest my eyes. So many words, so many names.
Yes! So much justice to be served. You wouldn't believe how many of these people did diddly squat. Now, let's go and... Oh, I will find you. This is not the end.